All right, we have roped in political analyst Dr Levy Ndou to further unpack these current political developments in the country. Dr. Ndou, it's good to have you with us. Good afternoon. So let's start with the meeting that we hear is set to take place between the DA as well as the ANC tomorrow on their relationship within the GNU. You have, of course, also seen the public blows from either side. What do you expect will be the resolution going forward?
Good afternoon to you, Alicia. Good afternoon to the viewers at home. My view is that the leadership of the DA in KwaZulu-Natal, and of course many other people who wants to see the government of national unity succeeding, they would love to see the ANC and the DA and all other parties being able to come together, being able to reach an agreement. And of course, they should be able to avoid throwing stones at each other like they're actually doing. Provincial leaders are putting a solid advice to their national leaders. They are saying that they need to put their egos aside and ensure that whatever they do, it's in the best interest of all the citizens. We don't know as to whether the ANC is prepared to compromise or whether the Democratic Alliance is also prepared to compromise. But when you look at the government of national unity holistically and in terms of the parties that are there, it appears as if it's the Democratic Alliance that is very much firm in terms of its own stance on the VAT increase, and of course the procedural issues that they are raising that took place in Parliament. Those, in my view, are issues that politicians themselves should be able to close the doors, iron them out, so that when they come out, they speak with one voice as members of the government of national unity.
And we've been, of course, saying this since the establishment of the national government of unity, Doctor, that there needs to be some sort of united voice, so to speak, so that, the citizens are actually not the ones that are affected by the indecisiveness or the public spats that we're currently witnessing. But let's go further and then try to understand who stands to lose more should the parties decide to reconfigure their relationship. I mean, we know that the DA has said it will not just walk away from the GNU or desert it. The ANC basically saying, well, if the DA wants to go, let them.
Unfortunately, you wouldn't tell what is likely to happen. But as you know, parties contest elections in order to be in government. And I think these parties that are in the government of national unity are excited that they've been able to achieve one thing, that of being in government, that of being in charge of certain departments. The Democratic Alliance, in my view, has got a much bigger project that started a long time ago, that of ensuring that at the end of the day or one day in the future, they should be part or they should be running government and indeed national government. And if they therefore decide to leave the government of national unity, it can be a huge blow to their support base and to their own project, because some will start asking questions that says, you had an opportunity to make a difference and you decided to leave. But also, the Democratic Alliance will also want to be seen as a huge factor in the government of national unity, in the sense that they had promises that they made to their constituencies, and they also want to make a difference. And the unfortunate part is that they are not running government alone, and they need to get a buy-in of other political parties. Any party that will decide or forced to get out of the government of national unity would become a loser, because what they are established for would not have been achieved. Actually, they would have reversed their gains.
I mean, the DA also briefed the media in KZN this morning, Doctor, where they actually outlined their plans for the province in terms of service delivery as well as governance. And now let me remind you that when Steenhuisen was also campaigning in Phoenix last weekend, I think he did say that the ANC has to remember the fact that they are currently part of the government there, because of the DA's vote in that province. And you've also just heard there Mr. Rogers in the clip preceding our interview saying that, well, whatever happens at national level could very well impact the GPU.
Indeed, even though the framework is not the same, there is a possibility that what happens at national level could have an impact on provinces. But what is quite interesting, and I think what most people could have observed, is that most leaders of the Democratic Alliance are always putting an emphasis on their commitment to the government of national unity. And what, in my view, they need to be able to navigate and win on would be the ability to negotiate and convince GNU partners on policy positions. And one of the principles that they have agreed upon talks to sufficient consensus. And if indeed, as GNU partners, they are able to negotiate and persuade each other, they should reach a stage where they are able to say, now we've reached sufficient consensus, and as the GNU, this is supposed to be the line of march. What one would not expect is the situation in which GNU partners would, at some point, not be able to argue their cases in that forum, and therefore they go and do what is contrary to what is agreed in the GNU. That is something that parties in the GNU should find ways and means to manage.
All right, we're going to leave it there, Doctor. Thank you so much for your input this afternoon. Dr. Levy Ndou is a political analyst there, sharing some of his views on the current political developments in the country in relation to, of course, the government of national unity. We're going to take a quick ad break. More news in a short while.